have cerebral palsy, but if you put me in a car, there's no difference in the way that I drive compared to a fully able-bodied person. I'm Ryan, I'm 24 years old, and I have cerebral palsy. This happened as a result of me being born 12 weeks premature, and my brain was starved of oxygen during me being born. When I was 15, I had surgery on both of my legs to release the tension in my hamstrings. One of the last things I remember before going down to surgery was the surgeon looking at me in the eye and saying, we've x-rayed your knees, here's a look at the x-ray. Do you want me to break your knees to be able to do what we fully intended to do? And see how we go. And sometimes I think, was that the best decision? Obviously, it's not good to dwell on those things. And the outcome of the surgery was very, very, very good, but sometimes you do wonder. Sometimes buttons can be difficult for me, so I just fasten a few buttons and then slip the shirt over my head, for example. I can't put trousers or shoes and socks on without sitting down, just because I don't have that balance there. Disability isn't really something that's thought about within the design process of clothes. So if something is difficult to put on or take off, then it is another added thing that I have to think about, especially when I'm walking and I'm stepping, that if it's difficult, then this is something that I also have to factor in on top of my balance or my reaction time or my hand-eye coordination.
The big one.
I am self-conscious about my legs because the majority of my spasticity is in my legs, and they're skinny and they might not be as muscly or as defined as someone else who is able-bodied, because I don't have as much flexibility in my legs, which means my muscles are naturally going to be smaller. And I think on photographs, like, that is something that I see.
Hello, who are you?
Ryan.
Are you famous?
Yeah.
Oh, you went, everybody went, woo, when you came out. I thought you must be famous. How old are you?
5.
5. Do you like modelling?
Yeah.
Yes. What do you like to do at school?
Writing.
What are you doing?
I think growing up, it was kind of difficult for me in maybe some unique ways, because I know I'm very privileged in the fact that I'm relatively unaffected by cerebral palsy as a disability compared to a lot of other people with my condition. So kids at school thought they could say stuff to me like, oh, you've got a funny walk, or what's up with you? Maybe because there wasn't that visual cue of you're in a wheelchair, so it would be bad for me if I said those things. there have been some difficulties in the past where I have a blue badge, so I can park in a disabled space. And there have been some examples of people asking me why I'm parking in this disabled space, because I don't appear to have disabilities. And most often, this was at uni when I might have been with 4 friends and we've all piled into a car and put loads of beer in the boot, and people are like, what are you doing? But just because I look less disabled, maybe, doesn't mean that I don't need this. And I think that was a thing that I struggled with for a long time. And there was a period where I didn't use my badge in my disabled space because I felt nervous for other people saying, what are you doing? And then me having to justify myself, because it takes a lot of confidence to speak up and kind of shine a light on your vulnerability to say, yeah, I do have a disability, so what? I'm parked here and I'm allowed to be parked here. I think the most often example of discrimination that I would get is people who stand on the door at a bar or a club and question me to say, why are you walking like that? Or you're not allowed in here, you look really drunk. But in reality, I'm looking them in the eye and I'm speaking to them like normal. And I think the saddest fact is, no matter how hard I stand up for myself and try and justify myself, the words don't carry and the meaning doesn't carry. But as soon as someone with me fights for me, that's when people listen and take a second look and think, oh, I was wrong. And it's good to admit you're wrong and then apologize, that's fine. But sometimes you just need to, again, listen.
I just need Afrobeat, hip hop, and wings, and that's all that matters.
I think in the mainstream media, there still needs to be a lot done to share the message and life experiences of people with disabilities, and there needs to be a lot more representation. Because mainstream media, just like everything else in society, should be truly representative of the people that it faces. And if people with disabilities can't see themselves in society, how are they supposed to change things, and how are they supposed to aspire to being something different? If they can't see, then they can't be.